Episode 2: The Sky Becomes a Clock. In the previous episode, we explored how humans first became aware of time through change. Hair grew, children became adults, seasons came and went, and people grew old. Long before clocks existed, our ancestors understood that life was moving forward. But recognizing that time was passing was only the beginning. The next challenge was learning how to use it. For early humans, understanding time was not a matter of curiosity, it was a matter of survival. Imagine a small group of travelers setting out at sunrise. Their destination lies many miles away across unfamiliar land. Nobody carries a watch. Nobody owns a clock. Yet somebody in the group is constantly watching the sky. The sun is climbing higher. The shadows are changing. The day is slowly slipping away. At some point, a decision must be made. Should the group continue traveling, or should they stop and make camp? If they travel too long, darkness may catch them before they reach shelter. If they stop too early, they may fail to reach water or food before supplies run low. Long before clocks existed, humans were already making decisions based on time. The sun became humanity's first great clock. Every morning it rose. Every evening it set. Day followed night with remarkable reliability. By watching the sun's position in the sky, people could estimate how much daylight remained and judge how much time they had left to complete their journey. Darkness was not simply an inconvenience, it could be dangerous. Although humans had mastered fire, a campfire illuminated only a small area. Beyond its glow lay uncertainty. Predators might be nearby, rival groups might be nearby. Cold weather could arrive unexpectedly. Travelers learned to respect the approach of night, and the movement of the sun became an essential guide to daily life. But the sun was not the only clock in the sky. When darkness arrived, another guide appeared above them: the moon. Unlike the sun, the moon changed its appearance from night to night. Sometimes it appeared as a thin crescent, sometimes it was half illuminated. At other times, it shone brightly as a full moon before slowly fading away and beginning the cycle once more. This repeating pattern was one of nature's most obvious clocks. Long before calendars were written down, people could see that the moon followed a regular cycle. It provided a natural way of measuring longer periods of time. A day could be measured by the rising and setting of the sun. Longer periods could be tracked by the changing phases of the moon. As humans became more observant, they began noticing another pattern in the sky: the stars. At first glance, the stars appear fixed. Night after night, they seem to maintain the same patterns. Yet, careful observers would have noticed that different stars appeared during different times of the year. Certain groups of stars became visible during winter, while others appeared during summer. Over many generations, these observations became valuable knowledge. The stars were no longer simply points of light. They became seasonal markers. They helped people recognize when colder weather was approaching, when animals might migrate, and when familiar seasonal changes were about to return. Humans were becoming experts at recognizing patterns. Nature did not display numbers like a modern clock. Instead, it displayed cycles: the cycle of day and night, the cycle of the moon, the cycle of the seasons, the cycle of the stars. People learned to read these cycles just as we read a watch today. Knowledge was passed from one generation to the next. Parents taught their children which stars appeared before winter arrived. Travelers learned how the sun could help them judge the passing of the day. Hunters learned to recognize the natural rhythms of the world around them. Without realizing it, humanity had begun creating the foundations of timekeeping. The sky had become a giant clock and calendar. There were no gears, no batteries, no springs, and no electronics. There was only observation, memory, and experience. For thousands of years, these natural patterns guided human life. But simply observing the sky would eventually prove insufficient. People wanted more certainty. They wanted ways to mark important moments in the year and remember them accurately. That desire would lead to some of humanity's earliest monuments and calendars. In the next episode, we'll discover how our ancestors began marking the movements of the sun and stars with stone circles, monuments, and some of the first true calendars ever created. If you're enjoying this journey through time, please subscribe and click the notification bell so you don't miss future episodes. And if the next episode is available, you'll find it linked on screen.